So I completely missed GRID Autosport when it originally released years ago. Heck, I never even knew about it. I've always been into racing games, but as I've gotten older, for whatever reason, I've just not been as into them, especially racing sims. I think the last games I was really into were Forza Horizon 3 and 4, which weren't too long ago, but even then I was more into 3 than I was into 4. Enter GRID Autosport on Switch. When it was first revealed to be coming to the system earlier this year, alongside a trailer that didn't really showcase the title in a favorable light, I mean, the frame rate and visuals looked really rough, and it was a game I hadn't even heard of. So I moved on and forgot about it. When September rolled around, I began seeing news on it again, and I got interested in it. Now, it's probably not very smart to put my ultimate thoughts on the game right at the start of the video, but dang it, I just gotta say it, this game is great. First, before we get to the gameplay and content, let's talk about options. This game has so many freaking options, it's crazy. You can adjust your audio to various dynamic ranges. You can switch between performance, quality, and battery saving mode. You can adjust controls on various types of controllers, including GameCube controllers. You can change what's on your HUD. You can assist in modes. You can use assist modes such as auto acceleration. You can turn HD rumble on and off and adjust the strength of the rumble itself. You can choose from set profiles or completely customize your difficulty experience. Okay, look, you have options, and it's great. The biggest options have to do with the controller setup and with the visual versus performance settings. First, this game uses digital inputs since the Switch Pro controller and Joy-Con aren't analog. Now, honestly, I've not had any issues playing with digital triggers, but I know that could be a deal breaker for some. But get this, Feral Interactive included GameCube controller integration, and on top of that, there is full customization of the controller and the options. Seriously, options. The key thing to note here is that the GameCube controller has analog triggers, so there you go, it solves your problem in that regard. The other biggest option is the choice of performance mode, which runs at a higher frame rate, even though not quite at a solid 60 frames per second, or you could use quality mode, which looks quite impressive for the handheld console. Quality mode is capped at 30 frames per second, but it is solid. Oh wait, there's one more mode because, options. There's a battery saving mode that becomes available when the Switch is out of the dock. This essentially reduces visuals and keeps frame rate at 30 frames per second, all to create better battery life. I love these options. Why? Because you can play how you like. Personally, I'm okay with the visual downgrade for the higher performance, which, by the way, can be seen right at the options menu when switching between the modes. But I can easily see why some would play in quality mode instead. Gosh, the options in the game are vast. Oh, speaking of vast, there is plenty of content. Now, my one disappointment with this game is that there's no online multiplayer mode as of right now. However, the development team has stated it will be coming soon in a free update, so there's that. Other than that, you have plenty of cars, plenty of tracks, and most importantly for me, plenty of variety. You can choose different styles of play through each season that you play. These are broken up into different disciplines named Touring, Endurance, Open Wheel, Tuner, and Street. And then there's the Grid discipline. Each of these are pretty self-explanatory, and they each have their own set of vehicles to choose from. On top of these, you have more, that's right, options, like Demolition Derby, drag racing, and more. What I enjoy so much about having all this content, it doesn't make me choose a path to play. If I wanted to play the touring discipline, and that's all I wanted to do, well, then I could just play that for hours on end. In short, there's a lot here and it's all very cool, though I do really suck at some of the types of play. As for gameplay, it's perfectly fine. Like I stated before, digital triggers are the go-to since the Pro Controller and Joy-Con use them, but that didn't really deter my fun or skill much in the end. I adapted and the game was still great fun to play. The driver AI is nice, and you really can customize your experience thanks to, yes, options. For example, at first, the shaking camera when braking or hitting another vehicle was just too much for me, but I didn't want it completely gone. There was an option to simply turn it down, which I did. So, after turning it down to 50, I hit my sweet spot and it enhanced my experience with the game. On top of this, there are a variety of gameplay views, like above the hood, cockpit, far behind the vehicle, etc. One last thing to mention is that I never really noticed music playing while driving. Now this might be a weird omission, but I gotta say, the car audio is so nice that I was totally fine just listening to my vehicle's engine and my tires squealing around a corner from track to track. So in short, the audio is pretty darn good too. I'm really surprised I haven't seen more stuff surrounding this game, more talk surrounding this game, because I have had an absolute blast with it so far. I'm really glad it's gotten another chance to shine on a new platform, since it arrived at the end of the Xbox 360 and PS3's lives. If not, I would have never even heard of this game and wouldn't have had so much fun with it. Is this the best racing sim game ever? No, not even close. But is it the best racing simcade on the Switch? And is it a solid racing sim game with arcade elements with plenty of hours of entertainment to be had? You bet it is.